that knowledge and you follow Andy Reid's blueprint, and what happens? Success. That's what happens. It just works that way, y'all. Shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs. I hope Tiff in here, because I sure want to hate on her motherfucking Kansas City Chiefs, but I can't really. I mean, I'm a Raider fan, she a Chief fan, and just the same old sorry ass Browns. They lose 37-21. It's a sad situation. They fired Coach Hugh Jackson, and it's a situation to whereas people can blame Hugh Jackson, but I'm all about telling the entire truth, not like suspected white supremacist Skip Bayless. I ain't telling you the story to fit my narrative. I'm telling you the story the way I see it and the way it was told to me. Always firsthand, never word of mouth. Now, the reason I'm upset with Cleveland is this. The plan was to burn that team down to the ground, hit the reset button, start over, whatever adjective that you want to use that describes what's going on when you rebuilding a team. He was only the coach for 2.5 years. If you get rid of everybody over the age of 24 on a football team, hell yeah, y'all gonna lose 15 games. The next year, they were in every single solitary game. 10 out of the 16 games were within 5 to 7 points. Only 2 blowouts in 16 weeks. If you got a team full of 25-year-olds and younger, and you're in every game, contrary to popular belief, stop looking at the stats. People, that's called progress. That is called progress. And when you have progress, you will have success shortly thereafter. Then they fire Saji Brown, bring in a new general manager, who's an excellent general manager, don't get me wrong, but then you should have fired Hugh. My only issue is you didn't fire Hugh immediately. You strung him along, and then you fired him 2.5 years into a 4 to 5 year plan. That's why I'm disappointed in Cleveland. I wish them the best, because low key, I want everybody to win, man. Football is best when it is parity. I personally believe that way, but I mean, it's not for everybody to agree with me. And that's why it's called opinions. Opinions and asshole. Everybody got one, they all stink. That's how it goes. You know, at the end of the day, that's how we rock it. Now that we got that out the way, I want to go to the next game. The next game was a dud. It was a flat-out dud. You got Sam Darnold probably played his worst game as a pro, and you had people tagging me and things in Twitter talking about how's this dude this and how's this dude that. It's awful strange that people like my main man, Jameis Winston, and Sam Darnold, who ain't my main man, but he a rookie. Jameis Winston throw 4 interceptions. He the worst dude in the world. Look at him. He's this, he's that. I had my man hit me up on Twitter. Sam Darnold ain't nothing. How's he playing? Blah, 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 blah. But I don't hit nobody kicking Ben Roethlisberger in his ass for them 6 touchdown interception game. This man hitting wide open linebackers and safeties, and nobody says anything. How is that possible, Big Ben? How is it cool for Big Ben, seasoned 15-year veteran, owner of 2 Super Bowl rings, 3 Super Bowl appearances, and you throwing 6 interceptions in a 1 calendar year span in 2 different games, and nobody says anything? Oh, well, you know how Ben, he's just going to fight back. Again, I'm going to address some of those things a little later, and it just bothers the shit out of me, man. I don't get it, man. Look, miss me with that. Enough with the favoritism. Enough with the bullshit about, oh, man, he the boy. How you going to trip? Because just because you won a Super Bowl don't mean you the boy. Because y'all hate Eli Manning. Y'all hate Eli Manning. Eli Manning won 2 of them things with 2 Super Bowl MVPs. But y'all hate Eli, but Big Ben can throw 6 interceptions, but Jameis can't. But here's the difference. I'm going to get on that right now. The black quarterback. I'm finna get on the whole situation with the black quarterback, Joe. Flat out. Why is it that, and you know, here's the thing that bothers me about the criticism of black quarterback. It ain't the white guys that's doing it. The bros is doing it. The bros be eating the black quarterback alive. They treat a black quarterback's misdemeanor like a felony. I don't get it. Now, okay, I repeat, I am not. I'm going to say it again. H-Rap-B is not a Dallas Cowboy fan. I am not a Dallas Cowboy fan. But I do believe Dak Prescott is getting the shit in of the stick. And the reason I believe Dak Prescott is getting the shit in of the stick is this. Look, if you show up as a quality quarterback. You a quality quarterback, you doing your thing your rookie year. I attribute a lot of that to your college upbringing, your college coach, and your moxie and your raw ability, because they can't really teach you enough in mini camp, training camp, preseason, and regular season. Nobody was looking at Dak saying, hey, we need to put a lot of work into this guy. Now, so Dak Prescott goes on to have a very, very, very impressive rookie campaign. His rookie campaign was insane. The suspected white supremacist Skip Bayless, he consistently says he has the best rookie season in the history of the National Football League. Nobody's ever looked into that, so he continues to tout that, but I ain't even going to argue with him. For the sake of this conversation, I'm not going to argue with him. The problem I have is this. Now, if you've had the greatest rookie season in the history of the NFL, and then you regress, whose fault is that? It's easy to say, oh, that's your fault, man. You need to be on your functions. You need to get your act together. You need to be getting it in order. It's easy to say that. That is the easiest cop-out in the world. But the reality of the situation is that's what being coached up is for. Everybody tells me how Dak Prescott works hard. Everybody tells me about these intangibles with Dak. Everybody tells me how he's the star student. Well, if the star student, the hardest working dude on the team, comes first, leaves last, all the intangibles, he got intangibles squeezing out his ears. Well, whose fault is it that he regresses? Because you know what? If Dak would be playing like Russell Wilson right now, Jason Garrett and his coaching staff would be getting all the credit. They would get 100% of the credit for developing Dak Prescott. And if you don't agree with me, I'm finna show you why I know. I'm not in Dallas. I haven't been in the state of Texas in God knows how long. But I am going to show you how I know that Dak Prescott isn't being developed. 2 weeks ago, I watched A Football Life, Tony Romo. They show how all-time legendary coach Bill Parcells worked with Tony Romo for 4 years before he ever got a chance to start. You hear me? Do you hear me, y'all? 4 years before he ever got a chance to start. That means he got seasoned before he knew what to do, what not to do. He had offensive genius Sean Payton on his team, helping to develop him. Bill Parcells looking over his shoulder, making sure he had everything in order. Aaron Rodgers had Mike McCarthy doing the exact same thing for him. Steve Young, if you don't understand how coaching will make you a better player, Steve Young was not the Steve Young that you saw at the end of his career and winning league MVPs and all-time leaders in quarterback rating and all that when he initially arrived in San Francisco. Steve Young used to be a retard when he was playing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you don't believe me, call a friend of yours from Chicago. Get a friend of yours from Chicago on the phone and ask him, hey man, what was when the Bears used to play Tampa Bay, was Steve Young killing? And they gonna tell you hell no. But guess what? Steve Young went to San Francisco. He had damn, I can't think of a man who looked like Wilford Brimley, Mike Holmgren, and the rest of those dudes, Mike Shanahan working with him, and then he became Steve Young. He became Steve Young. Coaching does that. When you have the Raiders, you got Kenny the Snake Stabler sitting on the bench. And Madden and that crew was working with Snake Stabler. He might have had raw intangibles, but he became Steve Young. Joe Montana didn't start his rookie year, people. He was sitting behind Steve DeBerg, coaching up under Bill Parcells. He became Joe Montana and consistently got better every year. Every year he got better. When you are dealing with a quality coach, what happens is those mistakes that Dakota Prescott is making, they are erased due to coaching. Because if this is a dude who's working his ass off, when you watch Dak Prescott, all you have to do, next time you look at, they running them in the ground, it's Operation Shit on Dak this week on ESPN. Next week they get another target. They hoping Dez fuck up this week so they can get him. But look at the highlights with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is not Aaron Rodgers. Dak Prescott is not Tom Brady. Dak Prescott is not even Ben Roethlisberger. He's not even Eli Manning. But one thing I know about football is this: your fundamentals must be sound. Dak Prescott has extremely. Hey, you know what? Gary is having car troubles. His phone was dying. That's why he's not responding to you in the chat. His phone may have died. He's having car issues. But like I was saying, Dak Prescott is throwing balls off the wrong foot, falling to the side. He's not squared up. When you see a second or third year quarterback doing that, what that shows is a lack of attention to detail. The Dallas Cowboys have failed Dak Prescott. I am not telling you that Dak Prescott is the next Dan Fouts, the next Warren Moon, the next Donovan McNabb, or nobody along those lines. What I am telling you is Jason Garrett and the Dallas Cowboys coaching staff, they failed him. When you start off as an A-plus player and you regress, but you're known as a hard worker, that means the lessons that you're being taught are not working. That means who's ever teaching you, their teachings are going in one ear and out of the other, or you're just not being taught those things. Seeing how most people in the Dallas Cowboys franchise are not they're not sound. They're not sound, and they're not fundamentally sound. This makes me believe that this is a this is not a EJ Manuel equal Dakota. I don't think so, Mo. I don't think EJ Manuel is. But you know what? EJ Manuel is another guy who was not under proper tutelage. See, Mo, I'm a firm believer in, look, next, like I was just saying, they've been running Dak into the ground all week. What I want you to do is look at some of them throws that he threw. That interception that he threw was a double coverage. What he was trying to do is throw a jump ball to Amari Cooper. That's a result of not knowing your personnel. We don't know if Amari Cooper has the vertical ability to do that. Yeah, he's 6'1". He's a big, fast dude, but there's nothing saying that he has a 35, 40-inch vertical. There's nothing that's saying he has that type of athleticism. So when you got somebody like a T.O. in that situation, yeah, you throw that jump ball, but that's coaching. I think Dak is better than EJ Manuel because at no point in time did EJ Manuel ever look like Dak Prescott looked his rookie year. Dak Prescott isn't getting the proper teaching. And like I said a second ago, I don't know if you was in, you heard it. Watch the Tony Romo of football life, and you will see how it took 4 years to get Tony Romo to where he was. It took him 4 years to become an overnight success. But see, okay. I just HIB, read the stats. I just sent you via text courtesy of Rough Buck. Okay, 1 second. Let me see. Oh, cheese. But see, the stats don't tell us. Here's the thing with me, Mo. I'm not a firm believer in stats. I don't believe that stats are like a bikini. They show you a lot, but they don't show you everything. Because you know what? Check this out. This is why stats don't mean a whole lot to me, Mo. Jason Kidd was a freshman at the University of Cal. He shot 68% from the free throw line. 68% from the free throw line. But let the game be every